Hello students. Now last week we started our unit, the first unit in the book, which is 2 is better than 1. And we stopped at the vocabulary part. We had a discussion about how to start learning your vocabulary, and then we took the 5 words that we have in the vocabulary building lesson. So let's start with the first thing we have here, the vocabulary building, as we said. Now, you can see that we have here parts of the words. You can see that we have here just one part. Now, I'm going to show you the other part, and you're going to decide in which word does it, or which word does it complete. So let's see the first part. So we have here, you can see, just take a look here and match. We have here, we're going to say invaluable, yes. And we have here, do you remember when we said about water that it is something invaluable? And then some, which word comes with some? We have here, yes, fearsome. Now we said some animals are fearsome. After that we mentioned, yes, okay, so we have here, it should be easier because your choices are getting less. We have here, yes, okay, we have here the word compensate. Now when we said that something is weak or lost, you can compensate with something else. And then we have the word, okay, or the part of the word actually, and here we can say, yes, we have here the complete word deficiencies. Now, do you remember when we said that this man, he obviously has deficiencies, and we just talked about what deficiencies means. It's close to weaknesses, lack of things, and so on. And then we have here the last part, of course, we have here goes with this part, which means predators, and we have here, these are different kinds of predators. After that, we had the match in the book, which we already had done. So just to revise very quick, we have the first word, compensate. We said it is the meaning of to overcome a weakness with a strength. Deficiencies, which means ways in which something lacks what it needs. Fearsome, we have here be, causing great fear. Invaluable, we said that it is something that is extremely valuable and priceless. And we have the last part, predators, which we have in see animals that live by hunting others. Now, we're done with this part. And if you remember that we mentioned in the examples that we took in the vocabulary building, we talked a lot about these 2 animals. Now, we did mention that they team up together, the zebra and the ostrich, which seems a little bit strange at the beginning. But here, the lesson, it's all about different animals that team up like we have here, the ostrich and the zebra. So, do you think animals ever form partnerships to help one another? We just discussed this part, but can you think of other examples? Can you think about, or have you ever heard of different examples or different animal teams that team up? And of course, there is an aim. There is a reason why do they team up together. We have here the verse from the Holy Quran. حتى إذا أتوا على وادي النمل قالت نملة يا أيها النمل ادخلوا مساكنكم لا يحطمنكم سليمان وجنوده وهم لا يشعرون. So here the aim is just to mention that this is something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, that these animals, they team up together, they help each other, they support each other even in their own way. So we're going to see more about this. Now, our unit basically is 2 is better than 1, but this time we are going to have a different kind of team or different kind of teams. We have here, they are animal teams. So we have here, we're going to start with the reading part. Now, the reading part, the objectives for the reading is, first of all, to describe animal relationships. Number 2, to name animals that make up for each other's deficiencies. Number 3, to define a new kind of animal relationship. Number 4, to analyze the elements of an animal relationship. And number 5, to scan for information and words. So we're going to start. The title in the reading part that you have here, of course, just open your books on the reading part that we have. Now the title is Animal Partners. Now animal partners on page number 12. Just take a look here and see how many paragraphs they have. Yes, so just try to count very quick. You can see that we have 6 paragraphs. Now here you can see this graph. We have actually 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, and in the middle there is going to be a main part, which we're going to start with the introduction that we have here. Now we're going to start with, okay, now we have here the first answer. Just you're going to look for the word struggle, and you can see actually from the first line we can see for animals in the wild each day is a struggle to survive. And then I want the answer how. You can see they must continually search for food while at the same time keeping themselves safe from predators. So they are looking for food, and at the same time they are being careful not to be the food themselves. Then we have the other question. The other question here, or before the other question, just to remind you that we have here the word predators that we took in the vocabulary building lesson. The other question here, yes, we have here, how do animals team up, and what kind, or what is this kind of relationship called? Also, you have here your 30 seconds just to go. You have the other part. Just look for the reason. What is this kind of relationship called, and how do animals team up? And we're done. Now we can see here, how do animals team up? You can see the answer in the orange part. Now, first of all, you can see the word teaming up with another animal. We have here this kind of special relationship in which animals depend on, or depend upon, and benefit from one another. This is the kind of teaming up here. They depend upon and they benefit from one another. And this is what we call symbiosis. We have here the word symbiosis. Now, this is going to be the second question. We answered actually the 2 parts. So we have here the basic thing that we are going to talk about is symbiosis, the kind of teaming up, and this means that they benefit from each other. There is a teaming, and each part is benefiting from the other one. This is going to be the basic part that we have here in the middle. Now we have here symbiosis, and we are going to just fill in the other parts with examples. So let's start with the first one. Now, just here to remind you that symbiosis is a special relationship in which animals depend on and benefit from one another, as we just mentioned. Moving on. Now we have here the first question. Scan for members of the first team. So you can just look very quickly here, and you can see that there are 2 animals mentioned. It doesn't matter if it is a big animal or a small animal. So just look for 2 names here, and you can find them. Yes, we have here from the start, there is the fearsome African crocodile and the small plover bird. So just imagine that these 2 animals, they team up with each other. Now we have here how can this small bird benefit from the crocodile? And this fearsome animal, how does it benefit from the small plover bird that we have here? So we have here, this is going to be the first team that we're going to mention. Now we have also the word fearsome, if you remember that we took it also from the words in the vocabulary building. And we have a question here to scan for adverbs. Now here I'm going to give you time. Now just scan for adverbs and think here from this part. Think about the difference that we have between adjectives and adverbs, and here scan for adverbs. Yes. Ready? Now there are basic adverbs that I want to see. Now just to remind you that adverbs, they describe a verb. They do not describe a noun. So we have here, the first one is going to be quickly. We have also surprisingly. We have amazingly. And let's see something, yes, normally. So this is enough. And this is actually going to help us with our third question. Now the third question is, why are these adverbs used in the paragraph? So you just underline the adverbs with me. Now the question, the basic question is why? Why are they used in the paragraph? So just think about the basic idea. Also, you have 30 seconds. So we have here, just to see that we have, what is the idea between the teeth that I just showed you, and we have here the adverbs that we just circled. And you can see that from the start here, you might assume that the plover would quickly reject this invitation and fly off. Yet, surprisingly, the plover does hop inside. Perhaps even more amazingly, the crocodile, normally known for its aggression, does not snap its mouth shut and have the plover for a snack. Instead, it remains still, not closing its mouth until the plover leaves. So still, this is something very surprising. This is something that happens very quickly and amazingly at the same time, and it happens normally between the crocodile and the plover. We're going to see why. So let's move on here. And we have here the other part. Now, we have the first question. How does this team work? You have the ideas now. You have something about the bird, the crocodile, opening its mouth, flying inside, but still, what is the aim? Now, also you have here your time, 30 seconds, just to see what is the benefit. How does this team work? Yes? So we can see the answer. The plover picks out all the small pieces of meat stuck between the crocodile's teeth. In doing so, it cleans the crocodile's teeth, which prevents it from getting infections. So this is the first part. It helps by taking out the rest of the food that is in the crocodile's mouth. And in return, how does the plover get something out of it? We can see that in return, the crocodile provides an easy meal for the plover. So we have here the basic thing that A, the plover picks food out of the crocodile's mouth, preventing infection, and B, the crocodile gives the plover an easy meal. So both of them benefit at the same time. We have here, this is going to be our first team. Now we have here the African crocodile and the plover bird. You have the idea. We are going to do the same with the other three teams. So after that, we have scan for members of the second team. Now you can see some kind of unusual, you can see in the middle that we have here two animals, or actually a bird. Like before, you can see that we have here the honey-guide bird and the rattle. Now we're going to see what is the rattle. We have here a picture of the, what is the rattle? You can see that it is a furry creature with short legs and long claws. Now you can see this is a picture of the rattle and also of the honey-guide bird. Also, this is our second team. So describing what is a rattle, we have here a furry creature, as you can see, with short legs and long claws. After that, we have the question, where do they live? So you have just time to scan very quickly. I'm going to give you 20 seconds just to scan for the place. Where do they live? Yes. So we have here both of them, they live in, yes, both these animals live on grasslands in Africa. Okay, now we want to also see here what is the common goal, because they do have a common goal. And now, like we had the benefit between the crocodile and the plover bird, what is the aim or the benefit, or as we have here, the common goal between the rattle and the honey-guide bird? We have here, we can see why do they have a common goal. You can just complete and look for here what is the common goal between them. They both want the same thing. They have a common goal. They have something that both of them want. What is it? Stopping. Now you can see that we have here the answer. Now they have both an appetite for honey, as you can see from the name of the bird. Moving on. Now the rattles are a perfect match for the honey-guide. They are a perfect team together. We have our question. How does this team work? So also you have your time. So just look for the answer here. How does this team work? Now you know that both of them have the same goal, which is to look for honey. Stopping. Yes, now we have here, we can see that the answer is rattles are a perfect match for the honey-guide, as they love honey and they are large enough to crack open a hive. Now in return, how does the honey bird get benefit from it? We're going to see that we have here the honey-guide flies over grasslands looking for a hive. When it does spot a hive, it swoops down and makes a noise to alert the rattle. The rattle uses its claws to tear open the hive. After eating its fill, the rattle invites the honey-guide to finish the leftovers. So both of them have the same meal that they want. And this is going to be, we have here just the summary. The honey-guide locates the beehive, and the rattle tears open the hive to get the honey. We have our second team, which is the honey-guide bird and the rattle. After that, we have the third one here. You can see that we have very obviously the team that we mentioned before. Now our members of the team are the zebra and the ostrich, as we mentioned before in the first lesson. Now we're going to see what is the benefit between these two animals. We also can see that they are a perfect match, and we have the question, why? Why are they a perfect match? So just scanning here, we can see that, you can see very quickly that, yes. Now we have the short paragraph. There is a chance to find the answer very quickly here. You can see while the giant flightless ostrich has poor senses of both smell and hearing, the zebra has acute senses of smell and hearing. So we have here acute senses. Now we have here, it comes from the word accurately, which means that it is very strong. Yes, now we have the senses are here strong, but the zebra must have something weak, or else how can it benefit from the ostrich? Now this is something that we're going to see in the second part, and in the second part I'm going to give you time to just find me why are they a perfect match. Yes. Now from the very start you can see, and we're done. The zebra has terrible eyesight while the ostrich has excellent eyesight, enhanced by its long neck, which enables the ostrich to see far into distance. So it may have weak hearing, but it has very strong eyesight. Now, something else. We have here the word deficiencies as we took in the vocabulary building. So now we have passed by 3 of the words that we have studied before. And also we have the second question, how does this team work? Now you can see from the other part here, so obviously ostriches can see predators such as lions far in distance because they have strong eyesight and long necks, while zebras can smell or hear others as they approach. So this is going to be what they have in return. So the summary here is going to be the ostrich has good eyesight and can spot predators in the distance. And in return, the zebra has good senses of smell and hearing for locating predators. And this gives us our third team, the zebra and the ostrich, leaving us to look for the last team that we have here. Now the last team we have here, just to see that we have sea animals this time. Now this is something strange. We're going to see the sea animals. You can see that we have here the members of the team are, yes, after that, immediately after the sea animals, we have the clownfish and the sea anemone. Now we have here, the sea anemone here is a creature, and we can see the clownfish, and from the colors of the fish you can realize why is it called the clownfish. So we have here the question. Now just to put in mind that we have here the dangerous animals with poisonous tentacles, these are the animals. And we can see them living among the deadly tentacles of an anemone has a clear advantage. Most predators stay away. So this is going to be how this team works. But still, we're going to come to the most important part. How does this team work? And you have your time. Yes, coming to the end. Now we have here another benefit for the clownfish is that it is able to eat the animals' leftover bits of food. And in return, there are several benefits. We can see that the brightly colored clownfish attracts predators. When the clownfish swims under the anemone's tentacles to safety, if the predator follows, the anemone has the chance to sting and eat it. Other services the clownfish performs after cleaning up food scraps and dead anemone tentacles and chasing away fish that might eat the anemone. So here you can see the benefit that we have here between these two unusual creatures. Summarized in the first, the clownfish attracts prey into the anemone and cleans up scraps of food. B, the anemone provides a safe home and food for the clownfish. So this is going to be our fourth and last team that we have here. Now, after we have read about the 4 teams that we have, The ending. While many symbiotic pairs may at first look like odd partners, the benefits they provide one another are invaluable and may make the difference between life and death. In fact, it is often these animals' very differences that make them perfect partners. And we can see that we have also invaluable here as one of our words in the vocabulary building. And here you can see that all the mentions or all the teams that we mentioned in the reading part. So we have here 4 teams mentioned. You are going to also read more about it and we are going to answer. So your assignment is to read the questions that we have here in the after reading part. Now we have here, these questions are in your book. And inshallah, in the next lesson, we are going to just go back and look for the answers that we have. So our outline. We first of all engaged the topic that we have here with the main topic. Now we have here animal teams as a part of 2 is better than 1. We explored the idea of team work between animals. Also, we elaborated the ideas together. And at the end, we evaluated and we had the 4 teams that we discussed. So this is your lesson for the day. Tomorrow, inshallah, we are going to just go back, follow up, and see more information about these teams. So do your assignment and be ready.